Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video, and a big welcome to Doris, who is one of my dogs. This week I want to catch up on some new releases because I have fallen very much behind because May has not been my month. I've very much been in a bit of a slump after 30 books in 30 days. I think I've mentioned this in every video this month, but it really is true. I actually can't bring myself to finish a book properly. I've just finished The Spell Shop and that took me like 2 weeks, which is unheard of for me personally. But the new releases on the roster, I actually only have one of them. I actually only have one of them on me currently. The rest I've pre-ordered and are on their way. And the one that I've got on me, and therefore the one I will start today, is The Roommate Rule by Georgia Stone. This one I believe is a slow burn. Obviously close proximity, forced proximity because they are roommates. I don't think they know each other, but I'm not really sure. So I'm very excited to go into this. I've said this before as well. The cover for the US version of this book is so gorgeous. I like the UK cover, but the US cover is so much better. So very gutted that I couldn't get my hands on a US cover of this, but I will say the inside covers are very beautiful for this. So I have this one, and then the other books on the roster, there is one called The Undercover Honeymoon. I can't remember what it's about. I think they're like spies or something, obviously, faking their honeymoon, just based on the title. That's what I remember of it. I've got Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan, which I actually have the ARC for that. So if it doesn't arrive tomorrow, I can go straight into that one on my Kindle because I already have a copy of it. And then also Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. We know I'm an Elsie Silver stan in here. You can see my Fairy Loot editions of Chestnut Springs and my stack of all of her other books here. I'm always excited for an Elsie Silver new release, so that will definitely be getting read in this video. I might throw in another ARC just because I have quite a few to get through in the next month. But they're the May releases that I need to have a look at. So with that said, I'm going to start reading The Roommate Rule, and I will get back to you when I have some thoughts to give. Guys, tell me why I'm 100 pages into The Roommate Rule and I just don't want to read it. I've mentioned that I think I'm in a slump throughout May. I really do though, right now, think that is the case because I DNF'd the last book I was reading. And I'm so tempted to DNF this as well. I'm not vibing with it. I don't like Max, the love interest. I think he's a dick. I just don't like him. And I just don't want them to get together. Like, if this was between Max and Jude, who's one of the side characters, I think that could be interesting. But these two people are so different that I genuinely just think that they would be bad for each other. And not in a fun way. Not in like a Magnolia Parks way where they're bad for each other, but we kind of love it. I just think they would piss each other off to no end. So I might put this down for the time being and consider some of my other options, which have all arrived in the post. I have obviously got Dolly All the Time, which I do need to read soon, so I can post my review of that on NetGalley. Undercover Honeymoon and Fever Dream. Now, I want to read Fever Dream so badly. Do I do it? Do I switch it up and go for Fever Dream and put Roommate Rule down? Because I fear if I put Roommate Rule down, I'm not picking it up again. But I don't want to have 2 DNFs back to back. That does not look good. And it doesn't feel good either. I don't like DNFing books. Like, it makes me feel like I'm not, like, trying. I don't know. Do you guys get that? If you DNF too many books in a row, you're like, wait, I'm the problem. So yeah, but it's a shame. I mean, the premise of this is interesting. We've got Dylan, who has, I think she's been broken up with fairly recently. She says Christmas last year, but it's now summer, so like months ago. And so her friend is like, oh, my brother is going on a retreat thing in Wales and he needs someone to go with him. Why don't you go with him? And then Max is like an influencer, so he gets all these free trips and stuff. But I just don't like them. I just don't like them. I'm doing it. I've told myself out of it. I'm DNFing this. I'm DNFing The Roommate Rule. I'm so sorry. I really wanted to love this. As I've said multiple times, the cover's gorgeous, but I just don't like it. Okay, moving on. Now, what do I go for next? I feel like Elsie Silver is like a tried and tested, like gonna be a great book, but I do need to read Dolly All the Time before it actually comes out because I don't think it's out yet. I don't know, because I've seen not great things about this as well, and I really don't want to have 3 DNFs in a row. Oh, I don't know. Let's have a read of the blurbs. Okay. If they begin by pretending, can they end with something real? Dolly Brick is a woman you can rely on. She's never met a problem she couldn't solve, not when her mum left when she was 10, not at 39 when she returns to her hometown of Whitfield, Rhode Island, to keep her dad and brother from losing the family home. So when she sees Stuart Whitfield, annoyingly handsome scion of the Whitfield family, with a flat tire at the wrong end of a very public, very humiliating breakup, it's in her nature to help. But what Stuart asks of Dolly ends up being more than either of them bargained for, as public dinners and high society benefits turn into sunset boat rides and kisses that give her butterflies. Dolly starts to feel something more than helpful. She's never relied on anyone besides herself. Can she really start now? It sounds interesting, but I don't know if it's what I want right this second. Bull Rider might be what I want right this second. Let's have a read of this one. Knowing glances, stolen kisses, secret rendezvous. Professional bull rider Emmett Bush is not looking for love. He's looking for a paycheck to save his family's farm from bankruptcy. So when he agrees to be the leading man on a hot new reality dating show, Romance Ranch, he's already decided it's all one big performance until Julia Silver walks onto his property. Smart, snarky, beautiful, and off limits in more ways than one. As the location consultant on set and the little sister of his most bitter professional rival, Theo, she's the last woman who should pique his interest. Julia has been warned about Emmett. She knows better than to fall for his cocky swagger, broad shoulders, and smouldering good looks. But when mutual distaste grows into an unexpected connection and then something more, they find themselves searching for excuses to spend time together out of the camera's reach. Emmett signed up to play the role of an eligible bachelor searching for the one. His family's land and legacy depend on him completing the show. The problem is he's fallen in love, just not with a contestant. Okay, I'll be reading this one. Next. Thank you very much. Right. I will give you some updates when if I remember, I'll do it when I'm halfway through. If I don't, I'll see you when I finished Fever Dream, because that sounds incredible. I finished Fever Dream by Elsie Silver, and I did in fact love it. I think I'm gonna settle on a 4-star because this, I don't know what it is about it. The spice just wasn't spicing for me. I just didn't care. I just didn't want to read it. So a little bit of a knockdown for the spice that was in it because I didn't care. But I really enjoyed it actually. I read it really quickly as well, which I haven't been able to do since April. But I don't know how much I explained of this. Basically, Emmett is a bull rider and his rival is Theo Silver. Theo's sister Julia is the location scout for a new, not Love Island, what is it, The Bachelor? The Bachelor but for cowboys. And they end up working together on this show, Romance Ranch, because Emmett has been recruited for it, and they may or may not fall in love. And I did in fact love it. I really loved the TV show element of it. I thought that was really interesting. I fucking hated Richard. If you read this and you know who Richard is, didn't like him. But I did really like this book, and Elsie Silver has done it again. She's the queen of cowboy romance for a reason, and she hasn't missed. She genuinely, every single one of her books I love. So I did forget though that the the main girlie in Reckless, which is Theo's book in Chestnut Springs, her name is Winter. I just completely forgot that. So they were like, oh, Winter, and I was like, that's a weird name. Because I'd completely forgotten that was what she's called. So maybe I need to reread the Chestnut Springs. It's been a while. But yeah, so 4-star to this, and I think I'm gonna go on to Dolly All the Time, which I believe is out today. It is the 26th of May as I'm filming this, so I do need to read this and review the arc ASAP, because I was meant to do that before it came out. And then I think Undercover Honeymoon will be on Kindle Unlimited in 2 days. So if I finish this in 2 days, I can then read Undercover Honeymoon on my Kindle, which is how I prefer to read everything. So that is the plan. I'm going to start this and I will get back to you with some thoughts, hopefully tomorrow, because I want to read this in 1 day. That would be excellent. But we'll see what happens. This is a very impromptu update. You know me by now. I always forget to do a midway check-in because I'm just not thinking about it. I am almost exactly 50% of the way through this. I believe I'm 52% of the way through if my Kindle is to be believed. They've kissed once and I was kicking my feet giggling, guys. It really is that serious to me. It really is. Also, here's a new angle of my room. Very impromptu setup, hence the dodgy angle. Yeah, no, I love this. This is great. Dolly all the time. Yes. Dolly all the time. Stuart occasionally. So, our premise in this, I believe I read the entire blurb to you guys when I was deciding what to read next. But the premise is basically Stuart, who is this really rich, like, kind of famous guy in town, he has recently ended his engagement. His fiance was caught seeing someone else, so he's like, oh, that's over. And then he is photographed with Dolly of title fame, and she's just like a regular single mum who's like really reliable. She's good at like fixing stuff around the house, changing a tire, stuff like that. And because they're photographed together, he's then like, we should go along with this. I will pay you to be my fake girlfriend just until this all blows over and I can get this big promotion at work. Yep, I love a fake dating and I love this. Oh, I love it so much. It's so romantic as well. What do you mean they're going on boat rides? And he's including her son. Yes, I love that. I love that so much. I do have fears. I have big fears that could come into play. I don't know whether I say them or not. I'm going to say them. Obviously, I haven't... Like, I'm 50% of the way through. Here's what I think the conflict is going to be. Because I believe there's always some kind of conflict in Annabelle Monaghan books from memory. I think that her son's new friend is trouble. I don't know what kind of trouble, but I feel like he's going to be trouble. And I also feel like the father of her child, who doesn't know the child exists, is going to see something in the news about Dolly Brick and her son. And he's going to clock that that's his son. And that's going to kick something off. I feel like that's where we're heading. There's not much indication, but if I had to come up with like what I think the conflict is going to be, like what the issue is going to be near the end of the book, I feel like that's it. And obviously I can't confirm or deny whether I'm right later because that would be spoiling it. So that was just for my own entertainment. I think it's trying to predict, but like now I've got evidence that that's what I think is going to happen. But I'm really enjoying it. And I find with Annabelle Monaghan books, because the characters are older, like I think Dolly is about 40. I think she's like 39 maybe. I feel really comfortable recommending this to my mum because like I couldn't recommend for my mum to read like Face Off by Chelsea Curto, or what's another good example of something I wouldn't recommend to my mum, like any of the cowboy romances I read are a big no-no. Could never recommend that to my mum. She's not a big reader, but I'm trying to make her a reader. This I think is perfect for my mum. So we're going on holiday in August and I am going to bring this with me and be like, hey, here's your read for the beach. Here's your read. But yeah, like the last thing I got her to read was The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. She just saw it on my shelf and was like, oh, this looks cute. So she's read that. It took her a while. So I always hesitate lending my mum books because I know I won't get them back for months. But I think she would like this. And if she likes it, there's more Annabelle Monaghan to go around. Like, It's a Love Story is my favourite Annabelle Monaghan book. This, close second. But that was my favourite. I think I've annotated that as well. So my mum can read that if she likes this. I'm getting excited about the potential book mummification, you know, the bookification of my mum. There we go. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this way more than I thought I would, because I've seen some, like, not bad reviews, but I've seen a lot of 3-star reviews for this, so I was like, oh, maybe it's not going to be as good as I want it to be. But no, this is like definitely a 4-star, has potential to move up in the world to be a 4.5. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star. I just don't think it's going to be, but has potential to be a 4.5, which is still amazing, obviously. So I'm going to finish this hopefully tonight. My Kindle says I have like 3 hours left of reading, which is light work. So I'm going to try and finish this because I really love it, actually. And I'll get back to you hopefully tomorrow with some final thoughts on this, and then move on to reading Undercover Honeymoon. It is now Friday, which means that this vlog is going to come to an end, and I'm not going to be reading Undercover Honeymoon in this video. I will try and get to it in another video, but I've got big plans for the next few months on this channel, and I don't know if it's going to fit in. I'm going to try and make it fit in, but I've like planned every single upload to a T. I know what I'm doing this summer, and I'm so excited. I can't tell you in this video, but maybe the next video, my May wrap up will probably include something about the plans. Anyway, I did indeed finish Dolly All the Time, and it was very much a case of did I finish it or did it finish me? It wasn't actually that sad, but I'm going through. I broke up with my boyfriend of 3 years, like 2 months ago, and I'm very much still in breakup mode. And so the third act breakup really does hit different. So I had a little bit of a cry, and I gave this 5 stars. Because if a book makes me cry, it deserves 5 stars. I just think the way Annabelle Monaghan described the heartache, it was so real. It was very real for me. So yeah, that's my latest 5-star. Have I had another 5-star this month? I feel like I have. Dagger and the Flame or Rebel and the Rose. One of those was a 5-star. I can't remember which one because they were both excellent. But one of them was a 5-star, so this is my second 5-star of the month. I do give out 5 stars like candy, but books deserve it. Where's the fun if you're not going to rate them highly, you know? That I don't believe that. I think books are fun either way, but this I think is a 5-star. I really liked it. I really liked it, actually. And then as for other books that I read in this video, I actually did read a new short story by Jessica Peterson, so I'll talk about that here. Amazon keeps doing these like collections of short stories by random authors, so I was like, Jessica Peterson, my queen, of course I'm gonna read the one that she's written. So that one I believe is called Save a Horse, Keep the Cowboy, and it follows Weston and Josie, who dated many years ago. He's her brother's best friend, and they reunite at her brother's wedding, and he makes a grand gesture. It was cute. It's 57 pages long, so again, not massively fleshed out, but I did enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a 3-star because he sings in it. He sings a little song, and that's cringe. No thank you, no thanks. So I gave that a 3-star. I'm gonna read another one. There's one by Fallon Ballard. I'm gonna read that one from the collection as well, I think. But again, not in this video. And then the other books that I did read physically in this video, obviously we had The Roommate Rule, which I did DNF because I just didn't like the characters. And if you don't like the characters, you're not going to spend 300 and something pages rooting for them to be together. So did DNF that one, and I have actually unhauled it since. I'm very quick at unhauling books. If I don't like a book, it's leaving my room immediately. And then I did read Fever Dream by Elsie Silver, and I gave this one, oh, I've got the hiccups now. I gave this one 4 stars. I did really enjoy this one. I mean, maybe I could give it a 4.5 if I'm being really generous, because I did immediately start recommending it to people. So maybe it does deserve a 4.5. Maybe. But I love Elsie Silver. We all know this. Big fan. I mean, look at, literally got the Fairy Loot Chestnut Springs, and then all of her other books are also here. So I think it's kind of clear that she's like one of my favourite romance girlies. So I did really enjoy this, actually. And I think that's good, because I found, like, Flawless for Chestnut Springs I gave a 3-star, and that was the start of a series. What's the first one? Is it Off to the Races? Yeah, Off to the Races for Gold Rush Ranch I gave a 3-star as well. And then Wild Love. Yeah, Wild Love I think I gave a 4-star. But even then, I don't really remember what happened in that book. So I'd say, as for first books in series, this is my favourite first book in a series that she's done. So, I don't know. I don't know where I'd rank it among other things. Should I do a video ranking all the books by my favourite authors? I feel like that would be fun, and I could have a little PowerPoint presentation for it. Let me know if you want to see that. But with that said, that brings us to the end of this week's video. I hope you have enjoyed. It was a little bit all over the place, but I had fun. I enjoyed these books very much. So with that said, I will see you next week with my May wrap up, and hopefully an announcement as to what is to come on the channel. Bye!